These are the new top 5 meta guns that you should be using right now in Season 4 of Modern Warfare 3. This first weapon's an honorable mention. We got the Cast-Off 762, but it's not just the Cast-Off. So we actually got the brand new conversion kit, which I believe you unlock it from completing the week 2 or week 3 challenge. You guys can see there is absolutely no recoil on the gun. This is the easiest gun to use in the game. If you don't got a thumb, you're gonna love this build. But you do have to get the Jack Requiem, and as you guys can see, it's gonna be maximizing recoil control. Yes, we are losing a little bit of our bullet velocity, and the rate of fire is going down, but you know, it's just going to be so hard to miss to where that's not going to really matter. And we got the high grain rounds to bring up the overall damage range and the bullet velocity, making the weapon feel a whole lot more responsive. We are losing recoil control, but you know, the conversion kit is eliminating all that, and so that's why we got the DR6 hand stop, just to make the weapon feel a little bit lighter. Although if you do want to run an optic, I would take off the underbarrel for the optic. I don't think this gun needs a stock rear grip or a laser. It does need a barrel, but the conversion kit is blocking the barrel. And then for the muzzle, since there's already no recoil in the weapon, we're just going to keep ourselves off the radar by adding the Scratch 20L suppressor. Although if you do want the gun to be even easier to use, then I would add the Zemp compensated flash hider. And then lastly, we got the 40 round mag, just because, you know, I don't really die with the gun. I want to have extra ammo. I don't really want to worry about reloading, although you could take off the magazine and add an optic. By the way, if you want everything in Modern Warfare 3 legitimately, then I would check out Gwapsi. They will plan your account to unlock anything you desire, and that goes for Warzone, multiplayer, zombies, and many other games. I have also never seen a single negative review. I'll have their link down in the description. This next weapon is going to be the FJX Horse, and this thing actually just got a pretty big buff to where it's actually the fastest killing SMG in the game. And just so you guys know, all these builds are going to be working in multiplayer and Warzone. Doesn't really matter what you're doing, you're going to be popping off with these guns. So this gun has a lot of recoil, so we got the Martis heavy barrel to maximize that recoil control. Sometimes I will add the long barrel because it gives you recoil control and damage range, but the gun is still a little bit wonky to use, and so usually I lean towards the heavy barrel. For the muzzle to also help with that recoil control, we got the Zemp compensated flash hider. I tried out some other ones, but they just did not help as much as the flash hider did. And then for the unbarrel, you guys could maybe add the Phantom 5 if you want more recoil control. You could even add the skeletal underbarrel. I'm surprised a lot of people don't really use this one. This one is going to give you a lot of recoil control and increase the overall handling, but for me, I think the gun's pretty easy to use with this barrel, so that's why I got the DR6 hand stop on there. Then for the magazine, since the fire rate on this thing is like about 1,000 RPM, which is why it's one of the fastest killing SMGs, you're going to be blowing through ammo, so you kind of need the 48 round mag. The iron sights really aren't that bad, but I enjoy using the gun with the sight, so that's why I got the MK3 reflector on there. What you guys could do is take off the optic and then actually go over here and then add the Lopper LXD stock. You guys can see gives you a lot of recoil control, but we are losing a lot of our mobility and our handling, so that is one downside. And maybe if you add that stock, you're going to want to switch out this barrel for the long barrel. Overall though, this is going to be my favorite FJX Horse build in the entire game. Next up, we got the Kar 98K. We all know this is one of the best snipers in the game. This is going to be like a true Kar 98K sniper build, but if you guys do want a variation, a little bit of a faster one, I'll give you guys that. So basically, you know, the range color V3.4 optic is going to be the original Kar scope, but if you want the gun to be a little bit easier to use, which is why I honestly prefer to use, this is going to be with the Coriol Eagle's Eye. This is going to be the best optic if you want to play aggressive with the gun. Doesn't really zoom in too much, but still a scope. For the lasers, since we are going to be pop shotting, if you actually want to do good with the sniper, you need a pop shot. Unless you're playing Warzone, then you can hard scope, but in multiplayer, you just want to full send your quick scopes with full confidence, and that's how you're actually going to be able to pop off, because then you'll actually be able to get the shot off before the enemy hits you. And then to help out with that, we got the Razorhawk laser on there, DR6 hand stop, furthermore bringing up that mobility on the gun. We got the mono rounds on here. This helps you get collaterals. I actually hit a triple collateral my first game ever using the mono, and I haven't hit a triple collateral in like a year or 2 years, and so those rounds are really overpowered. High grain rounds will reduce the amount of hit markers you get at range, but the effective damage range on the gun's already pretty good to where you don't really need the high grain rounds. And then since the gun has a lot of flinch, we got the recon sling. This actually helps out so much. We also get aiming auto stability, which is going to make it so your scope doesn't really sway as much. We all know with snipers that is pretty annoying. This isn't the only Kar build I'm giving you. This is just a very good Kar 98K build. If you want one that's absolutely meta in Warzone, give this one a go. It's actually crazy. You could take off the stock and then add the recon sling on there, but this is the one that I've been really liking in Warzone. Again, we got the high grain rounds on there because, you know, Warzone, you're playing on a huge map. Now, the next gun we are going to be going over, this is going to be the SVA 545. Definitely one of the most broken guns in the game. We all know no recoil in the gun. fires the first 2 shots faster than the rest, and so make sure you hit the first 2 shots on the enemy. You could even put it into burst mode and still gonna fire 2 shots, and I see a lot of people in Warzone using it like that because there is no recoil and a insane bolt velocity when we have the precision barrel. You can see the bolt velocity is almost 1,000 meters per second. We also get some recoil control, and so this is one of the best guns to be using at range. And then for the muzzle, you guys could swap this out for maybe like the Cassis brake, the Jack BF, not Jack BFB, more so Cassis brake, or the Zemp compensated flash hider. For me, I'm pretty good at controlling the recoil, so I'd rather have the Scratch 20L suppressor, keep myself off the radar while still having a little bit of recoil control. For the underbarrel, we do got the DR6 hand stop on there just so the gun feels a little bit lighter. You could take off this and then go over to the magazine, add the 60-round mag or the 45-round mag. For me though, I prefer to have the DR6 hand stop. For the optic, I got the MK3 reflector, although usually I do add the, I think it's the jacket glassless optic. This is a aftermarket part that we all kind of know about. This one gives you fire aiming stability, so reducing recoil, and it has a very clean sight, and so I feel like most of you guys will like that one. Then for the stock, we got the main V6 stock just to increase recoil control. We can tell that this thing adds so much control without really hurting the weapon at all, and so I kind of run this on like every SVA build, although sometimes I will take off the stock. Then I'll add like maybe a 45-round mag if I want to have more ammo and want to feel a little bit more fluid. Overall though, this is going to be my favorite SVA build. For the next gun we are going to be going over, this is going to be the Lockman Shroud, but it's actually the MP5 now. If you didn't know, you have a brand new conversion kit for it, which makes this thing one of the fastest killing SMGs in the game. A little bit of recoil, but if you're playing aggressive, you're going to be dropping the enemies so fast. It is insane how good the Jack Decimator kit is. It looks pretty bad, like we don't really get any more damage, not that much bolt velocity. We just, well, I guess a lot of bolt velocity, but just overall, it doesn't look that good. Look at that recoil control. We're losing everything. But with this build, you're going to see the power behind it. We're actually going to be adding the Dark Star barrel. A lot of people add the grapple, but the grapple chocks the mobility to where you can't really play in the enemy's face, and that's kind of how you have to use the gun. Try out the Dark Star, you're going to notice that the gun is really meant to be used with the Dark Star. It feels like the OG MP5 from like Modern Warfare 2019. Then to increase mobility even more, we got the DR6. You could add the Skeletal Underbarrel or the Phantom 5. For me, if I'm in the enemy's face, I don't really need any more recoil control. Then since we are going to be blowing through ammo pretty fast, we do got the 40-round mag on there. 50 is a little bit OD. I don't think you really need that, so stick with the 40-round mag. And that's basically the whole build for the Lockman Shroud. Definitely give this thing a go. You are not going to be disappointed. Oh, for the laser, if you are annoyed with the laser, you could go over here and add these sub OP rounds. This is going to make it so the enemies don't really see a skull above their teammate's dead body. Whenever you kill someone, there's going to be a skull above their body, letting their teammates know where you're at, kind of. So this will hide that and give the enemies more flinch. That is pretty fun. And if I don't want to run the 40 or if I don't want to run a laser, the main part is to have the underbarrel, the barrel, and the conversion kit on there. Next up, this is going to be the MCW. Actually just got a massive buff. Previously, headshots didn't matter, but now headshots will lead you to a 4-shot kill. This is going to be the lowest recoil gun in the game. If you don't got a thumb or your grandma's playing on your account, this is going to be the build that she's going to be using. For the muzzle, we do got the Zemp compensated flash hider. This is going to be one of my favorite ones. Although you guys could go over here and add the L4R. You will have more recoil control, but the ADS will be a little bit slower, which is why I like the compensated flash hider. Then for the barrel, we got the Cyclone long barrel. I know the other barrels seem good, but we're rocking this one for the bolt velocity. When you have your bolt velocity around like 700 meters per second, or around 800, the game feels so much better. It feels like you're playing on a better ping. The other barrels don't really give you that, and so definitely run the Cyclone on there. I don't like the iron sights, so I'm going to be adding the MK3 reflector, but sometimes I will take off the optic. Then I'll add a 45-round magazine. Maybe I'll add the high grain rounds. You could even add a laser. This is just what I usually like to rock on my gun. Then for the underbarrel, we do got the DR6 hand stop just to bring up some of that mobility. There's no recoil in the gun, so this is going to really help you move around the map. And then add a little bit more recoil control to the gun. We got the RB Claw PSL grip. This is going to be a very popular rank play class. This is what I always rock in rank play. Typically though, I do have the L4R flash hider in rank play just because I'm playing against like iridescence and stuff. I need the extra recoil control. And then lastly, I just want to give you guys this another honorable mention. This is going to be my favorite WSP9 build. Just rock this exact build and you guys will see the power behind it. If you guys did find this video helpful, leave a like, subscribe with the noties on, and deuces.